on First at 9 this Tuesday, the 28th of October 2025. Legal initiatives. Cabinet greenlights the establishment of 4 new high courts under the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan. Contagion concerns. Alarming surge of dengue cases island-wide amid the persistent inclement weather. National Dengue Control Unit reports 22 dengue-related deaths as of today. Probe continues. 9 suspects arrested in connection with the murder of Waligama Pradesh Sabha chairman. 3 remanded. Bamboozled. 11 Ghanaians arrested for allegedly defrauding Sri Lankan MP MLAM Hezbollah of $2 million through a gold scam.
Kalin baby soap rupial 90කට. Kalin baby podi හැමෝටමයි.
Homelands Expo 2025 Property Investment Forum and Exhibition. Join us on 11th October, Hilton, Colombo, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 0710 111 444.
From Derana, this is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9 on Derana News Channel, Sri Lanka's most trusted news source. I'm Tatya Aranayake, joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. We begin with your top story. Now, the government has decided to establish 4 new high courts in Colombo under the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan. Meanwhile, cabinet approval has also been granted to launch a program to effectively utilize over 2,000 abandoned or underused state-owned buildings. With that, here's more on these and other key decisions taken at this week's cabinet meeting.
The Cabinet granted approval for a comprehensive program aimed at the productive use of state-owned buildings that are currently abandoned, underutilized or partially completed. Accordingly, respective ministries and institutions have been instructed to promptly prepare and implement the program after obtaining the report on the physical condition of the 2,972 buildings earmarked for project. Cabinet approval was also granted to sign 33 memoranda of understanding relevant to the 33 projects due to be implemented in the Eastern Province under Indian multi-sectoral grants. Per the initial MOU, the Government of India has agreed to provide 2.3 billion Sri Lankan rupee grant to implement the 33 projects. Meanwhile, the Cabinet approved the award of a long-term contract to MS Trafigura Private Limited of Singapore for the supply of 1.4 million barrels of diesel in 5 shipments between November 15, 2025 and June 14, 2026. The decision follows a competitive bidding process called by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, where 7 suppliers submitted bids, after which the high-level Standing Procurement Committee recommended Trafigura as the selected supplier. The Cabinet greenlit the proposal to submit the Motor Vehicles Drugs Regulations No. 1 of 2025 to Parliament for approval, enabling drug testing of drivers suspected of substance use under the Motor Vehicles Act. These regulations, issued under Gazette No. 2452/40 of 4th September 2025, outline the procedures and thresholds for conducting such investigations, addressing previous legal gaps in enforcement. The Cabinet approved the implementation of recommendations made by the committee appointed to review and streamline the recruitment process in the public sector, ensuring vacancies are filled based on identified needs and priorities. Accordingly, approval was granted to fill 8,547 vacancies across various ministries, departments and provincial councils as recommended by the committee headed by the Secretary to the Prime Minister. In the meantime, Cabinet approval was also granted to hand over 4 buildings belonging to the Ministry of Public Administration to the Ministry of Justice and National Integration for the immediate establishment of new high courts under the Anti-Corruption National Action Plan 2025 to 2029. The buildings are located on Gregory Road, Bauddha Lokamavata, Vijayarama Road and Stanmore Crescent in Colombo 7. The Cabinet approved the proposal to accept and utilize a $75,000 grant from the late Christopher Bell C. Sanders Trust to continue the Professor D. Sanders Endowment Scholarship Scheme at the National Institute of Social Development. The funds will be used to support outstanding social work students and promote social development initiatives, continuing the legacy established in honor of Professor Daniel S. Sanders, a former educationist in social work.
යාඩියා T5 ස්කූටරයක් සමග අඟල් 32 LED TV එකක් නොමිලේ.
The World Education Fair 2025 entrance free. Register now.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri highlights that research in state universities is not only an academic pursuit but a public responsibility. Addressing the inauguration of the University of Colombo's annual research symposium, the Premier asserted that the true value of research lies in its ability to inform policy and empower communities.
The annual research symposium of the University of Colombo was inaugurated this morning under the patronage of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri.
As public universities, while of course there are certain responsibilities and pressures on us to contribute to national development and critical socio-political, cultural and economic challenges, this is perhaps a moment and a time to rethink and reframe problems as well as solutions. As a government, we are looking to you to provide those intellectual insights and shape public discourse. There is an opportunity, in our view, for genuine transformation, but that requires the generation of new ideas, new narratives, and perhaps a healthy dose of optimism and hope as well. We all know the value of research and that it lies not only in publications or citation counts. Its true worth is measured by how it informs policy, empowers communities, and transforms our understanding of the world around us. Scholarship, therefore, is more than an academic output. It is an ethical commitment to share knowledge, shape dialogue, and inspire progress. Our government will continue to strengthen a national culture of research and innovation. We are expanding support for interdisciplinary and collaborative research, promoting open access to scholarly work, and encouraging international partnerships. And I do recognize, while I say this, the huge problems universities face on many of these fronts, the administrative constraints, and we are trying our best to streamline some of these processes. We are looking to do this particularly in fields where we think Sri Lanka can contribute regionally and even perhaps globally, such as biodiversity, public health, as we've seen already, multilingual digital technologies, new forms of political imaginaries and possibilities. Resilience in research requires more than funding or even good ideas. It depends on integrity, inclusivity, and imagination. Our universities must remain spaces where diverse voices across gender, ethnicity, class, and generation, we must contribute equally across these different sectors to knowledge creation. Only then can research truly reflect the experiences and aspirations of our people. Together, let us reaffirm our commitment to research, not only as a professional pursuit, but as a public responsibility, particularly as members of public universities.
Health authorities warn of a sharp increase in dengue cases across Sri Lanka amid the prevailing rainy weather. The National Dengue Control Unit urges the public to clean their surroundings despite the rains to minimize the spread of dengue, as the country has already reported over 40,000 cases this year, as well as 22 dengue-related deaths.
Cyclone Monta, which has been moving through the Indian Ocean in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, is now approaching the Kakinda coast of Andhra Pradesh, India. Over the past few days, as the storm passed near Sri Lanka, the country experienced heavy rainfall, with many people being severely affected. Against this backdrop, health authorities warn that the spread of dengue is increasing across the country owing to the prevailing rainy weather. As of today, 41,324 dengue cases and 22 deaths have been reported to the National Dengue Control Unit. 11 districts comprising Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kandy, Jaffna, Gaul, Mathura, Batiklo, Kurunagala, Ratnapura and Kegaul have been identified as high-risk areas. With the activation of the northeast monsoon, mosquito density has increased in 22 districts, leading to a higher risk of dengue transmission. A slight increase in cases was observed in week 43 compared to week 42. There may be potential mosquito breeding sites in your surroundings. Therefore, the public is urged to keep their environment clean and eliminate stagnant water to help mitigate the spread of dengue.
Do what you do, let the world look up to you. Shoot what you see, be who you wanna be. Search with a smile, create your own style. Gemini Live, make moments come alive. Be anywhere, rock anytime. With awesome AI by your side. Be anywhere, rock anytime. Be brilliant, be always intelligent. Download fast, stream it all night. One tap, move, everything feel right. Snap it clean, edit like a pro. smarter with Gemini, let the magic flow.
Introducing Samsung Galaxy A17 5G. The power to be always intelligent.
Foreign media reports that 11 Ghanaian nationals have been arrested by local police on charges of defrauding Sri Lankan Member of Parliament MLAM Hezbollah of $2 million under the pretense of selling him gold. According to reports, the 11 suspects were granted bail after being produced before the civil court in Ghana's capital, Accra.
Following a complaint received by Ghana's National Security Council regarding an alleged gold fraud scheme, the 11 suspects were arrested on October 16th. Investigations have revealed that the suspects allegedly defrauded MP MLAM Hezbollah by promising to sell him gold. Officials from the National Security Council Secretariat stated that the individuals are believed to be a part of a money laundering ring operating under the guise of gold trading. The suspects reportedly received $2 million from MP Hezbollah in 2023, promising to deliver gold but subsequently cut off contact with him. Investigations further revealed that the suspects later offered to sell an additional 50 kg of gold to Hezbollah and had even signed a memorandum of understanding to formalize the transaction. When the suspects were arrested on October 16th in connection with the complaint, they were reportedly found in possession of 2 pieces of metal suspected to be gold. The National Security Council has since filed charges against the suspects at the Accra Circuit Court, including conspiracy to commit a crime, fraud by false pretenses and attempted fraud. All suspects have been released on bail and the case has been scheduled for hearing on November 20th. The alleged financial fraud against MP Hezbollah is estimated to be valued at over 600 million Sri Lankan rupees. Attempts by Ada Derana to contact MP Hezbollah for a comment were unsuccessful as he did not respond. However, the MP's media division issued a statement on his official Facebook page today contradicting the reports. According to the statement, MP Hezbollah was visiting Ghana with a group of Arab associates for business purposes when he learned a potential fraudulent operation and subsequently alerted Ghanaian authorities, leading to the arrest of the suspects.
And now here's a look at some comments made by public representatives regarding the public rally announced by the coalition of opposition parties.
Those implicated in the central bank scam, Tajuddin's murder and the East attacks are all up on one stage. The people can fully understand the situation. This is an attempt by thieves to come together to protect their fellow thieves. The people of this country waited for a year, hoping the government would fulfill its promises. However, all this government does is focus on a criminal and stage a new drama every week. Beyond that, nothing of real importance or benefit for the people is being done. On the 21st of November in Nugegoda, we will fire the first salvo in the mission to send the government home. We will not stop until we have sent the government home. What's the plan? To take a bath in the lake like last time? We can unite for a common purpose. However, even if the joint opposition defeats the government in the next election, what comes after that? If they are not clearly communicating that to the people, what is their end goal? There is no real plan in place. SJB is not a political party that sought to gain power by colluding with anyone. We make political decisions after reaching policy agreements. I would like to remind you that our actions are never driven solely by the intention of gaining political power.
Even
yesterday, the Samaki Jana Balawege was not there. There's no need to worry. We are not afraid of such commotion. They only last 24 hours. But tell me, who was seated on that stage? Can you name even one among them who does not have a case against them pending before the High Court?
Leader of Sarvajanabalaya parliamentarian Dilip Javira asserts that any joint opposition formed without proper discussion will never be successful. However, he expressed willingness to work with any opposition party to contest the upcoming provincial council election under one symbol as long as they operate in good faith.
Letters of appointment were presented to Sarvajanabalaya's Matale district regional managers this afternoon under the patronage of party leader parliamentarian Dilip Javira.
Any joint or separate opposition that is formed without proper discussion will never be successful. We want to question everyone on what we should present as a solution to this issue. How will this plan logically change the livelihoods of the public, eradicate poverty and transform Sri Lanka into a developed nation? There's no point in making speeches about these matters without without proper discourse. I believe even a majority of those who voted for the NPP now want to topple this puppet government. However, they question us about the next steps to be taken after toppling the government. We must have an answer for the people. This is the most important question today. If the government wishes to hold on to power, it will not call provincial council elections. However, if the opposition forms a coalition and the government is able to defeat it, then they can boldly call the elections. I admit that. Therefore, we inform the government that we will not allow that to happen even if provincial council elections are called. We are ready to compete under one symbol if opposition parties are ready to work in good faith. We are willing to discuss a plan with regard to this. However, we will not entertain political betrayal.
Welcome back to First at 9. Now taking you to more local news. Prisons Commissioner Jagat Veerasinghe claims that more than 230,000 school children in the Colombo district are addicted to drugs. Meanwhile, a 21-year-old Canadian student was arrested this morning at the Bandar Naik International Airport with a consignment of hashish valued at 182 million rupees.
A 21-year-old Canadian student was arrested by the Customs Narcotics Control Division at Bandaranaike International Airport while attempting to smuggle a large quantity of hashish. According to customs officials, the suspect had carefully concealed the drugs inside his suitcase. The seized consignment comprised 72 small packets packed in 6 polythene bags with a total weight of 18 kilograms and 253 grams. The suspect and the seized hashish have been handed over to the Katunayake Airport Police Narcotics Bureau for further investigation. Meanwhile, 3 suspects, including a gunman wanted for 3 murders, were arrested yesterday afternoon in Anuradhapura by officers of the Anuradhapura Crime Division. The suspects were found in possession of 106 grams of heroin. Police said the arrestees were a 44-year-old military deserter wanted in connection with the murders and 2 drug traffickers aged 40 and 30. The alleged shooter is also believed to be involved in heroin distribution in the Anuradhapura district, operating under the direction of an organized criminal based in Dubai. He was found in possession of 88 grams of heroin and 90 milligrams of marijuana. Meanwhile, a special awareness program on preventing drug abuse was conducted yesterday at Godapitiya National School in Akurasa under the patronage of Prisons Commissioner Jagat Veerasinghe.
In Colombo alone, 230,982 school children are reportedly addicted to drugs. The situation is even more serious in the southern province. The southern province ranks first in criminal activities. The majority of prisoners in Sri Lanka are young people and most of them are of low literacy levels. Furthermore, 42 children under the age of 5 currently remain within prisons due to the offences of their mothers. The current government has a strong vision to build a country free of drugs.
In a related development, speaking at a ceremony in Kaluthura yesterday, Deputy Inspector General of Police for the Kaluthura district, Jayanta Padmini Veerasurya, emphasized that decisive measures have been implemented to curb drug trafficking within schools.
6 suspects, including the suspected gunman, the motorcyclist and the spouse of the gunman arrested in connection with the murder of Waligama Pradeshya Sabha Chairman Lasantha Wickramasekara, are being held for 72 hours and are being interrogated by the Financial Crimes Investigation Division. Meanwhile, the 3 suspects who harboured and aided the gunman were remanded until the 30th of this month after being produced before the Mathura Magistrates Court today.
9 individuals, including the suspected gunman and motorcyclist, have been arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of Waligama Pradeshya Sabha Chairman Lasantha Wickramasekara. Of these, 6 suspects, including the gunman, motorcyclist, gunman's spouse and 3 others who harboured the fugitive in Kakirava, Sahaspura in Boralla, are being interrogated by the Financial Crimes Investigation Division for 72 hours. The gunman and the other suspects were reportedly sheltered in Kakirava by a local drug dealer who was paid 30,000 rupees on 2 occasions for supplying food and drugs. According to police, the gunman fled from Kakirava to Colombo and then to Boralla, where he met 2 associates, changed his appearance and gave his mobile phones for safekeeping and charging. Police investigations indicate that although the murder was commissioned for 2 million rupees, the gunman had only received 1.5 million rupees. Reportedly, the motorcyclist too had requested money but was provided with drugs instead. The contract to murder the chairman was reportedly issued by Rajitha Sampath alias Dubai Lokka. Dubai Lokka had allegedly instructed to Midigama Chuti and another individual via telephone to execute the murder. Meanwhile, one of the two motorcycles supplied for the murder has been recovered. While the gunman has given contradictory statements, the motive behind the murder remains unclear. The 9 suspects arrested in connection with the murder include a 3-wheeler driver from Angulugaha in Gaul, a garage owner in Valana who repaired the motorcycle used for the murder, and a youth from Polvatu Modra who delivered the bike. The 3 suspects who were detained for 48 hours were produced before the Mathura Magistrates Court today. Police informed court that the investigations will continue under the Financial Crimes Investigation Division. The suspects' lawyers meanwhile emphasized that the garage owner had only received 400 rupees for the repair, as verified by security cameras, and had not participated in any crime. Mathura Chief Magistrate Chatura Disanayaka ordered that the suspects be remanded and requested the investigation report by the 30th of this month. Meanwhile, questions were raised regarding the murder of the Waligama Pradeshiya Sabha chairman during today's cabinet briefing.
මේ අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් උත් දැන් සමාජයේ කතා බහක් තියෙනවා මේක මේ නාට්‍යයක් කියලා පිටපතක් කියලා රිටිගල කැලේට පැන්න කෙනා පැය කිහිපයකින් කොළඹින් මතුවෙනවා කියලා කියනවා. මොකක්ද මේ පිළිබඳව ගරු අධිකරණයේදී
This matter will soon be taken to court. According to information we have so far, the main suspect already has convictions for several other offences.
මේ වෙනකොට සමාජයේ බරපතල කතා බහක් ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා. සැකකරුවාව අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම සහ ඔහු මහපාරේ තියාගෙන ප්‍රශ්න කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේ නිලධාරීන්ගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න කරලා තියෙනවද? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් යම්කිසි විනය ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් ගන්නවද?
මේ මාධ්‍ය හරහා
Posting videos and pictures of the suspect on social media is completely unacceptable. The IGP has ordered an investigation into the officers who were present during the arrest. The Special Investigation Unit will also look into whether the videos were recorded by the police or by an external party.
පොලිස්පතිතුමා සම්බන්ධයෙන් ජගත් විතාරණ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීවරයාට පාතාල සම්බන්ධකම් තිය කියලා ඔහු ඍජුව කිව්වා. මේ වෙනකොට ඒකට ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේෂන් තියනවාද? එහෙම නැත්නම් තොරතුරු අනාවරණ වෙලා තිබේද?
පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා
The MP has been provided with 2 security personnel and steps are being taken to assess the threats he has received. He has also assured that legal action will be initiated. Since legal proceedings have already been initiated, it's not lawful to discuss the matter further at this stage.
In separate development, opposition leader Sajith Premadas rejected Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasuriya's statement linking Samik Janabalawega MP Jagat Vitana to underworld elements.
විශේෂයෙන්ම ජගත් විතාන මැතිතුමාගේ
MP Jagat Vitana's rights as a citizen and parliamentary privileges have been violated through these false statements. We strongly reject and condemn the portrayal of Jagat Vitana, who is facing threats to his life as a criminal.
Welcome back. Now, Mogo Media Academy, aiming to develop talent in animation, game development, VFX and concept art, welcomed its 3rd batch of students. Previous graduates have already secured career opportunities in the industry. The academy, part of Derana Macro Entertainment, also showcased its first game, Song of Kings, at the Tokyo Game Show. All diploma programs run for 1 year, preparing students to compete internationally. More information on the programs are available at www.mogoacademy.lk or at 011 728 8300. Now in your business news, Dr. Chandranath Amarasekara and KGP Sirikumara have been appointed as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, the government has approved a contract with GSEC and Deviant Asia Pacific Limited to enhance currency operations at the central bank.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has appointed Dr. Chandranath Amarasekara and KGP Sirikumara as Deputy Governors effective October 24th and November 3rd respectively. Dr. Amarasekara, a veteran economist with over 22 years at the Central Bank, most recently served as the bank's Assistant Governor. He also served as Sri Lanka's alternate Executive Director at the International Monetary Fund. He has held key positions overseeing economic research, statistics and market operations and has contributed extensively to monetary policy and macroeconomic research. Meanwhile, KGP Sirikumara brings more than 25 years of experience at the central bank with expertise in currency management, public debt and financial sector reforms. He has played a pivotal role in introducing banking law reforms, strengthening governance and combating money laundering and terrorist financing. Meanwhile, the government has approved the procurement to enhance currency operations at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. GSEC and Deviant Asia Pacific Limited, Hong Kong, was selected after a competitive dual-stage bidding process and the contract has been awarded following pending technical and financial evaluation and the recommendation of the higher level procurement committee.
Gold prices in Sri Lanka saw a significant drop today, driven by a decline in global market rates. For the first time in weeks, the price of a 22-carat gold sovereign fell below 300,000 rupees and was selling at around 290,000 rupees in the Peta market after a sharp 81,200 rupee decrease from 379,200 rupees on October 17th. Meanwhile, 24-carat gold also dipped notably from 410,000 rupees to 322,000 rupees. The Colombo bourse closed in negative territory today as a result of price losses in counters such as John Q's Holdings, Senkalagada Finance and Sampath Bank. The benchmark ASPI lost 0.44% to close at 22,689.22, while the more liquid S&P Sri Lanka 20 decreased by 0.84% to end the day at 6,203.09 points. Market turnover was 6.1 billion rupees. Foreign participation in market activity remained at subdued levels, with foreigners closing as net sellers, offloading shares worth 42 million rupees. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Other Derana First at 9. Thank you for joining. Have a great night.